Hi, I'm Bill Bishop, and today I want to talk to you about the importance of having a big idea. I started my business 30 years ago, so for the first 10 years, we were helping people with all kinds of marketing stuff. And then I realized that the number one thing that people need is a big idea. Without a big idea, you might as well forget what you're doing. So you might have a beautiful website, brochures, do social media stuff, go to trade shows, all kinds of things, give speeches, so on, do networking, ask for referrals, all the different things people do. But if you don't have a big idea, you're going to be wasting your time. Because probably if you don't have a big idea, you're out there peddling a small, basic idea. I call it a hot dog. And it's like you're a penguin. You're just one of all these people in your industry. You're going out, you're selling basically the same thing as them, a hot dog. And it's not very interesting. Nothing to get excited about. Won't get people's attention. You're not even that excited about it. It might be just marginally better than what everyone else is doing, but even then it's not that exciting for you or for anyone else. So, all of that effort is just wasted because the idea you're putting out there is old, boring, not very much different than anyone else, and the customers and the prospects just can't get that excited about it. So what we've really emphasized here, and this is having a big idea. That's why I even call our company the Big Idea Company. So you need to have a big idea. Now, why do I say that so strongly? Because it works for me. It's worked for me so many times. And my biggest big idea, the one that goes back a long way, 40 years ago, was when I had a big idea and I won a contest selling lobsters at a steak restaurant. So if you want to hear that story, you're going to have to go to my website and check it out, okay? But essentially I had this big idea. I won the contest. I sold 1,400 lobsters, and that got me going on the idea of having big ideas. And, I even went so far as to write a book about it called How to Sell Lobster. And this book we sold over 1 million copies of it. It's published in 25 countries, it's been translated into 12 languages. And why? Because it's got a catchy title. I could have called this almost anything, but because it's called How to Sell Lobster, people want to buy it. They want to read it and they want to buy it. So I've even written a sequel to the book. It's called Return of the Lobster. So that's the next one. So maybe you want to check that one out too. Okay. Anyway, so this is a big idea too. It isn't just a book, right? I can use it for all kinds of things. I give a speech called How to Sell Lobster. A few years ago, I went down to Washington, D.C. I gave a talk, financial advisors, and there were 3 talks going on. Mine, How to Sell Lobster. The other one was life insurance strategies for the new millennium. And the third one was new tax rules for Chapter 3 of the IRS code or something like that. And it really wasn't even fair because from that, what happened was that out of 1,000 people, 990 of them came to see me. 5 went to see the life insurance guy, and 5 went to see the tax guy. And that was, like I say, it wasn't fair. Well, what were they missing there? They didn't have a big idea. I'm sure their talks were very informative, they were real experts in this, probably a lot of really useful information, but really boring, not very different. People want to come and hear about how to sell lobster. So this is what I'm saying. You could have the best thing, but if you don't get all the people to come and hear you, you're not going to get a chance to sell it, right? So you need to have a big idea. Since the last 20 years, since we started doing this in the Big Idea Company, thousands of companies have worked with us to come up with a big idea. And one of them is a company called ATS, which is in Alberta, Canada. And the last 50 years, they've been selling traffic signs. So that's their basic idea. And they've been very successful. But in the last 10 years, it's gotten harder. There's more competition. The prices have dropped. The margins have dropped. And they're looking for a competitive advantage. So they said, Bill, we need a big idea. And what they came up with was the Vision Zero program. It's called the Vision Zero Advocate Program. And what they do is they go into municipalities and they tell them, they say, listen, we can sell you traffic signs. That's our basic thing. But the more advanced thing is we can help you educate people and set up systems so that you can lower the number of people that die or get injured in traffic accidents. So they say, and you can join that program. It's a membership program. So since they started doing this, they're getting to meet a lot more people because they got an interesting thing to talk about. They've been having more meetings. They've already got some municipalities signed up for this program. And those people are buying more traffic signs from them. And also, even if they don't join the program, they're buying more signs from them as well. So that the big idea itself, just at the very least, gets them in the door. And recently they had a conference, the Vision Zero conference. They had 250 people come. It was all about traffic safety. They met all kinds of prospects there. They got all kinds of meetings set up to follow up on it. They're going to get a lot of business from that. I can't imagine they would have got 250 prospects to come to a conference about traffic signs. So this is the thing. You got to think about your business now. Are you selling a basic idea? Are you selling hot dogs? I call them hot dogs, right? So it's like there's lots of people out there. It's a commodity. The prices have dropped. You're not making a lot of money from it. Are you selling hot dogs? Are you a penguin? Are you out there looking like all the other companies in your industry? People can't tell you apart from the other. That's the problem. So if you want to get attention, you want to stand out, you want to meet more customers, and you want to make more money, you need to have a big idea. Now, you're probably thinking, I don't know, how would I do that? Well, there's really 3 steps to it if you want to try this yourself. The first thing is to say, who is my customer? So just get really focused on them. Put aside your hot dog or whatever it is you're selling right now and think, okay, let me just think about the customer. Then think, is there a big problem that no one's helping them with in our industry? Is there something going on there? And the flip side of that is there a big goal that I could help them accomplish? Start thinking about that. So that starts to get you thinking about your customers and really what's going on. And think, could I solve that problem? Could I help them achieve that goal? Could you come up with some kind of, I call signature solution for it? And then I give you a 4th one, which is then to give it some kind of a name, like the Vision Zero program or How to Sell a Lobster. So there's really 3 kinds of big ideas that you could come up with. One is a marketing idea, promotional idea. So that would be like me and having How to Sell Lobster. That's a promotional big idea. Then you could create like a new product or service. That would be like the Vision Zero program. So that's like in addition to traffic signs, they're also offering this Vision Zero program. And the third thing is you could actually create a whole other kind of business that wouldn't be replacing your existing business. It would just be kind of a sister or cousin to it that would be something that I call a new factory, which is another talk altogether, talking about new factories. So those are the 3 kinds of things: promotional ideas, coming up with new kinds of products and services, and actually creating perhaps a whole new kind of business. Well, let's say like you're a taxi company and you create Uber, or you're a hotel company, create Airbnb, something like that. That's another kind of big idea. So that's the kind of thing we work with here. And what I'm willing to offer you is a free big idea session. So I call it a big idea conversation. I'm going to take you through that process, and I'm going to help you come up with a big idea. We've done this thousands of times. Everyone that we deal with comes up with a big idea. It's actually kind of amazing that happens, but it's because there's so many things that you could possibly do, but unless you go through that process, you can't even think of them. But then they become sort of blindingly obvious. Okay, so if you want, take me up on that offer. Spend the hour with us, find out what your big idea is. You might start to get excited about it enough to say, boy, I really want to start to put that in place. Okay, so there you go. So that's why you need to have a big idea. Thanks for listening.